Hello friends, this video on weather, climate and adaptations part 6 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. So let us now talk about another element of weather which is a very important element, and that is rainfall. Now we often talk of rainy days. We often our schools get shut down if it is raining very heavily. So what is this rainfall and how do we measure how much rainfall is taking place at a particular place? So for measuring rainfall, we have something called as rain gauge. So this rain gauge helps to measure the amount of rainfall at a particular place. Now you would have learned it in your GK that or general knowledge that which place receives highest rainfall in India, and you would have learned it that Cherrapunji is the place. Now how do we know that which place receives more rainfall and which place receives less rainfall? So there has to be something which can measure it accurately how much rain is happening at a particular place. So that is why this rain gauge has been designed. So here in this picture you can actually see how a rain gauge looks like. It looks like a cylindrical tube, right? One smaller cylinder inside a bigger cylinder. That is how it is appearing to me. So let us now try to see what is a rain gauge and how does it measure rain. So let us look at a bigger picture of a rain gauge. So there are three important parts in a rain gauge. So the first important part is a funnel. As you can see here, you have a funnel like structure here. So that funnel is one important part because funnel is that part which actually helps to collect the rain. So that's the funnel. Inside you have a tube that is the inner measuring tube. So that is the tube which actually measures the amount of rainfall. So therefore it is the measuring tube. And outside you have a cylindrical structure, right? So this one is the outer cylinder. So these are the three important parts of a rain gauge. Now how do we measure rain? Now when it rains, now this upper part is open. So that's how the funnel is going to collect the rainfall. So when it rains, the funnel will collect the rainfall and then the rain will get collected in the inner cylinder. So you see the funnel is actually linked to the inner measuring tube. So the rain will come into the inner measuring tube, and the inner measuring tube is actually graduated with values. So it can actually measure how much water is coming to this tube. Now this tube can measure up to 25 millimeter of rainfall. So 25 millimeter is nothing but the height of this tube. So the measurements which are mentioned there. Now the question is, let's suppose if it is raining very heavily, so the inner tube will get immediately filled up. So how are we going to measure the excess amount of rain that is coming in? So any excess amount of rain is captured in the outer cylinder, and that is why we have a bigger outer cylinder. So look at this picture, it is giving you a better view. So the inner cylinder is only up to this much, but the thickness of the outer cylinder is much more, so it can actually accommodate a lot of water. So all the excess water will get collected in this outer cylinder, and then how are we going to measure it? And then what we will do is, first we will measure the water that is there in the inner cylinder. We will pour the water outside, and we will again take the water from the outer cylinder and put it into the inner cylinder, and then again measure it. So using the inner cylinder's calibration, rainfall as low as 0.1 inch can also be measured. So their calibration is done in such a way that even a small amount of rainfall, even a few drops of rainfall can also be measured. So that's how we can decide where we are having less rainfall and where we are having more rainfall. So I'll quickly repeat the process how we actually measure it. So let us suppose it is raining very heavily. So what will happen when it is raining very heavily? So very soon the inner measuring tube will be full. So when it is full, so you already know what is the maximum capacity of the inner tube. So that is, let us say in this case, that is 25 millimeter. So 25 millimeter you have already measured. So now what you do, this 25 milliliter you take out from this tube and you just keep it somewhere else outside. You pour that water outside. So now you have this inner cylinder empty. Now all the excess water has been collected in the outer cylinder. So from outer cylinder you pour it into the inner cylinder and again you measure it. So let's say again it became completely full. So again you add 25 millimeter. Right? And now let us say whatever you put, it is maybe 2 or 3 millimeters. Okay, so you just write it 2 millimeter, and now you add this all up to get the rainfall or to measure the rainfall. So in fact this is how rainfall is measured. Now how do we determine whether this much rainfall is a less rainfall or heavy rainfall or moderate rainfall? So for that purpose we have decided a range. That okay, if the rainfall measured comes to be in this range, then it is moderate rainfall. If it comes in this range, then it is heavy rainfall. So what is that range? So any rainfall, so less rainfall or low rainfall or less rainfall would be less than 0.1 inch. So inch per hour. So that is because time plays a very important role. Maybe you just kept it like this for 10-12 hours. So obviously it will get filled up. So you have to specify a fixed time. Maybe in 1 hour how much ever it will get filled, that will decide the measurement of rainfall. So if the amount of water collected is less than 0.1 inch in 1 hour, then we will say it has that location got low rainfall. What would be moderate rainfall? So moderate rainfall would be anything in the range of 0.10 to 0.30 inches per hour. So this would be the range for moderate rainfall. And when you talk about heavy rainfall, so heavy rainfall would be anything more than 0.30 inches per hour. So that would be heavy rainfall. So basically with rain gauge, rainfall amount is described as the depth of the water which is reaching the ground in inches. So we are actually trying to measure the depth of the water which is reaching inside this tube. So that's what we are trying to do. So this is how rainfall is measured, and that is now you got an idea that why do we see that okay, Cherrapunji gets maximum rainfall, because when you try to measure rainfall of different locations, you can actually get the values, and those values will be able to tell you which place gets how much rainfall. Thank you. Please visit www.examfear.com to watch more educational videos with a better experience. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for latest updates. Thank you once again.